All right, the last part of this is figuring out how to find missing information with the new information we've gathered, right? We now know it has to equal 360 degrees when you're dealing with the exterior angles of a polygon. So if they give you a shape and one of the pieces is missing, that's not the right piece, right? If they give you a shape and one of the exterior angles is missing, right, and they give you all of the other exterior angles, 79, 93, 50, and 170, nope, yeah, no, 76, right? If they give you all of these on the exterior and ask you for the missing one, you just need to remember that it has to total 360. So x plus 79 plus 93 plus 50 plus 76 has to equal 180. All you have to do is find the missing value. Right? So add up the rest of the numbers. 79 plus 93 plus 50 plus 76 is 298. So something plus 298 has to equal 180, not 180, 360. Why didn't you correct me? It has to equal 360 degrees. Right? That's what we discovered up here. The sum of the exterior measures will always be, some of the exterior angle measures will always be 360 degrees. Right? So x, we don't know what it is. X plus 298 equals 360. So all you have to do is subtract 298 from 360, and it will tell you what x is, what the missing number is. 360 minus 298 should be 62. 62 degrees is your missing value. Right? 62 degrees is your missing value. Because you know it has to total 360, you can find the missing value. Right? What about on the inside? Right? So we know, what if they didn't give us this one on the inside? We can figure out what it should equal based on the number of sides. 1, 2, 3 sides. If it has 3 sides, we use the formula to figure out what the sum of the interior angles should be. 3 minus 2 is 1 times 180, right? So it should equal 180 degrees. So you do the same thing, but it's going to be different for the interior. Every shape is going to have a different sum. For the exterior, all of the shapes are going to have a sum of 360. Right? So if we know it has to equal 180, we don't know what it is, x plus 79 plus 40 is going to give us our 180. If it was a 4-sided shape, it would be a different sum. If it was a 5-sided shape, it would be a different sum. You have to use the formula to figure out what your actual sum is, what your total should be, right? So x plus, what is this, 119? 119 has to equal 180. So we're just going to subtract 119 from 180, and it'll tell us that our missing value is 61. 61, is that right? Yay! Our missing value is 61 degrees. Right? So if they ask you for a missing, you just have to remember the interiors will sum based on the number of sides, and the exterior will always sum to 360. Use that information to find your missing value. Alright, so also going backwards, what is the measure of each exterior angle of a regular hexagon? There's a lot of information in that question, right? So exterior, so we know the exterior has to equal 360. It's a regular hexagon, which means we know all of the angles are the same, inside, outside. All the side measures are the same, right? It's regular. And hexagon is 6-sided. This is information we know, right? Let's see if we can use that information. So what is the exterior, what is the measure of each exterior angle of a regular hexagon? So what do we know? What do we know? We know it has 6 sides, and we're looking at the exterior, so it has to equal 360. It has to equal 360. A hexagon has 6 sides. So the exterior angles are all 60 degrees. Total divided by the number of sides, sum divided by sides equals an angle measure, right? That was our formula. When we manipulated our original equation, or secondary equation, we realized that we could find the angle measure by taking the sum, which we know has to be 360 because it's exterior, and dividing by the number of sides, which is 6 because it's a hexagon. And we know all of the angles on the exterior are 60 degrees because it's a regular polygon. They're all the same. 60 degrees all the way around. Alright? Now what if it asks if the exterior angle of a regular polygon measures 12 degrees, how many sides does it have? So this time it gives us 360 because we know exterior has to sum up to 360, and it gives us an angle measure, and we have to figure out the number of sides. It's the same formula, right? They give us the sum, 360. We don't know the number of sides. That's the question. So that's our variable, but it does tell us 12 is the angle measure, 12 degrees. So to get rid of this n, which is divided by n, we're going to multiply both sides by n. These will cancel. So we have 360 equals 12n. 12 times n. So to cancel it, we'll do the opposite, which is divide by 12 on both sides. These will cancel. 30. So the number of sides equals 30. And because we're talking about sides, there's no degree symbol. Because we're talking about angles, there is a degree symbol. Alright, so you should get 8 and 10. Do the work. Make sure you show how you got your answer. Get your smiley glued in. And you should have the practice sheet at this point. And when it's complete, show me so you can get the mastery check. Staple the practice sheet to the back. I want the mastery checks on the front. I changed my mind. Put the mastery checks on the front, staple them together, and turn it into the tray in the back of the class. Don't turn it into me. Turn it into the tray in the back of the class. Okay.